This is Jamie Walker with NetSimple. In this video, we're going to take you through the process of managing transactions and reviewing the reports that you have available to you in the fundraising module in the NetSimple platform. So I'm just logged in. I'm at the welcome home screen, and say, for instance, you had a recent transaction that came through and you want to either review the details of the transaction, or if you need to maybe issue a void or refund. I'm going to show you where to go to do that. So you're logged in, you're at the welcome home screen, you go click on fundraising. Then the best place to go is to go down to the very last tab or link on the fundraising module, reports. Click it and it's going to expand out. You're going to be looking at the very first report, the transaction report. This is really kind of the easiest report that we have in the system. It's going to show you, just when it loads, it's going to show you the most recent transactions for that day. If it doesn't load any type of data, then there wasn't any transaction history. So if you need to do like a search, you can click on this little advanced search button. There's a plus sign. You can click on that and it'll expand out. And you can do a search by first name, last name, transaction ID if you have that. What the time period is, there's some preset, 30 days, 60 days, 120 days, or you can do a custom date range. So we'll take a look at the last 60 days. So we've got 3 transactions that pull up. You can also do a search by payment amount, so you can plug in a range with a start range and an ending range, and the frequency, and then the payment type that is available to you. Also status type as well. So we're going to come down here and we're going to look at the actual transactions that showed up. So as far as the columns are concerned, what we are showing you is a transaction date, name, organization, the payment ID, payment type, transaction ID, frequency, what the status is. This is really important. So if you see some statuses in here that are like, say, failed or not processed, that means the transaction was declined for some particular reason, and that should be kind of like a flag for you to maybe reach out to that donor, or if it's a recurring transaction, maybe that the credit card on file needs to be updated. So that's something to look for. The note, what the transaction, what fund was given to it, and then the amount. And then over here in the far right side is you got your action. And so if you click on that, it expands down and you can view the receipt. You can issue a void or refund. So you can do that here in the dashboard. You don't have to contact us to do that. You have full capability to be able to process voids and refunds. You can download the receipt and then you can email the receipt. So if you need to email it to the donor or you need to email it to somebody within your organization, you can do that as well. The other thing that you can look for here is there's a hyperlink. So if you want, so say for instance, this is somebody, maybe their transaction failed, you can click on the hyperlink here and it'll open up their profile and you can see their payment method. So if you get them on the phone and you want to update their card on file, what you want to do is that you want to hit change and just add in the new credit card number, the name on the card, the payment type, the 3 digits on the back, the expiration month, and then the expiration year, and then hit save. You don't want to delete the card and then add a new card. You just want to maybe just hit change and update the card on file. The other thing you'll see here is another hyperlink, and so when you click on that, it'll just give you a little bit more detail of the transaction. You can see the billing information that was collected and the customer ID that we have on file as well. So that's the transaction report. Some other reports that we have available to you is your batch list report. And I just want to make a note on this. If you are like a customer that is your processor is Payrix, just because of the way that Payrix processes transactions and settles transactions, we aren't able to pull the batch reports into our system. So that is something that's going to have to be managed in your Payrix dashboard that you should have created an account for when you signed up. So just a note on that for Payrix customers. But if you're say your payment gateway is Paytrace or NMI, then we are able to pull that information in here, and you can just come in and run this report. It's not going to show any data in this because this is a sandbox account, and it's not going to have any live transactions to pull in here. At the end of the year, you can run a contribution letter batch. So you can basically run this report, and it'll pull in all of your customer information. And then you have action. You can email the information to the donor so they can have something for to provide their accountant for their year-end taxes. We covered this report in the fund video, but this is your top line fund detail report. And then we've got a more detailed report that you can pull that shows a little bit more information as far as like the transactions that take place to specific funds. We have your new donor report. This is something that's really nice to look at periodically, just to run in and see like who your new donors are, and if you want to send them any type of like information in the mail or give them a call to say thanks, this is a good report to look at. We have your top donors report here, and again, all the reports have date ranges that you can pull from, and you can select certain criteria and then run the report. And it'll show you by ranking your top donors, the amount that they've given and the number of gifts and their contact information. And as with all the reports, you can hit export and export this out to a CSV or an Excel file. And then if you're running a campaign, we do have a campaign report that will show you your name of your campaign, your goal, your amount raised, what your percent to goal is, and what's left, and what your average donation and your number of donors and what the status is. So that's the managing transactions and the available reports that we have in the fundraising module in NetSimple. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, please reach out to support@netsimple.com. Thanks.